everybody. Welcome to another edition of Kicks Over Coffee. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Priest, and I am drinking a San Francisco coffee. It's like this really cool K-cup that's not a K-cup, but it makes a hell of a good cup of coffee. My partner in crime, Sandy Mines, is here with us as well. Sandy, one, what are you drinking? Hopefully it's not vodka. Maybe it's vodka. Two, who's with us today to have an amazing conversation about marketplace trends?
Thank you, Matt, for co-hosting with me today. I am drinking Colombian dark roast coffee from my FDRA mug that we're twinning here. So we're excited to have a couple of fabulous guests on today. I will start out by saying thank you to Regina, who I used to work with over at Footwear News, Regina Pop, introducing her as Senior Director of Fashion and Trends of Designer Brands and DSW. Welcome, Regina. Thanks for joining us. And Joe Cano, Chief Merchandising Officer at Zappos. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to have you as well. Can you tell us, we'll start with you, Joe, what are you drinking out of your fun, fresh mug in Palm Springs?
Yes, I'm very California, so I drink lemon water. I don't drink caffeine or coffee or anything like that. So all very natural for me.
Look at you.
Wow.
That's impressive.
And Regina, what are you drinking?
I am drinking passion fruit liqueur water, which is kind of cheating, but Sandy told me to bring a mug, so here we are. Cheers. I wish I was in Palm Springs having a tiki drink.
Okay. So it's not exactly Kicks Over Coffee today, but we're going to go with that because I'm really happy to welcome these guests for our FFANY Market Trend Watch. As we go into November market, we're really looking at new trends in the marketplace. People are back at work. They're attending events, new colorways and fabrics and new initiatives and lines from so many different brands. I'm really looking forward to November market. So we'll start with you, Regina. What are you most excited about for November market?
Thank you. I'm super excited for November market. I'm hoping to see, more loafers, more Mary Janes, more tailored products. I'm super excited with all that versatility and, getting a lot of mileage out of all different kinds of wear. I know customers are really loving that. So much more tailored product, excited about that. More tall boots, because who doesn't love a comeback of tall boots? I think that one is really exciting. Lots more platforms to go with all the wide leg pants and mini skirts. I think that's a really big one. And surprises. I always like to see surprises at market. I think it's like, as you follow the trends, you want to make sure everybody's ticking off all those trend boxes, but at the same time, you really hope to be wowed with things that you were never even expecting.
That's great. I love that too. Joe, what are you thinking? What are you looking out for in November market?
Yeah, well, one, I'm echoing everything Regina said. I love that, loving seeing like loafers come about, but in a different way, in a twist. I love that kind of surprise and delight factor of it. So it's like loafers, but they're platform, loafers, but they're super chunky. I'm loving what we're doing with heels right now. That's a trend that's continuing on that I can't wait to see kind of what are part of the new innovations, kind of what the new heel is. I'm obsessed with the color. I think everyone was kind of so beaten down, staying at home, wearing their sneakers, that now you're seeing these huge pops of color. So pink has been such an amazing kind of trend within the marketplace. So I am just excited to see the vibrance and the excitement going on within market. People are excited to be going out to dinners and going out to events and going out to lunches and just be able to kind of showcase their fashion kind of in every walk of life. That's what I'm most excited about. So again, Mary Jane's huge. I love the platform Mary Jane. I'm looking for the tallest one. I'm all about the heel height and how high we can go. So I think that is what I'm most excited about. Just kind of being able to express yourself through footwear is amazing.
Is that dopamine dress up phrase I keep hearing about, like the post-pandemic, got to come out and have a party and express ourselves? Is that what you're talking about, Joe?
That is correct, Matt. That is 100% correct. Dopamine dressing all the way.
Now, you mentioned, Joe, we'll start with you, and then Regina will pivot over to you. You mentioned some colors. I haven't heard the colors maybe from Regina, but Joe, what kind of fabrics are you looking at as it relates to hot trends that are out there?
Yeah, honestly, from a fabrication, we're seeing it across the board. I'm seeing canvas come back in a really big way. You know, people are, while they're kind of going back and all about it, they still want to have some type of comfort in there as well. So we've seen canvas actually really shoot up from our selling, and I'm really excited to see kind of what we're actually doing with that. And that kind of covers both men and women. I'm seeing, you know, suede, we're seeing velvet come back in a big way as well. So it is really interesting to just kind of see, you know, what people are kind of gravitating towards. Obviously, leather will always kind of be out there and out and about, but I'm loving kind of some of this vegan leather movement that we actually see a lot of brands kind of going towards, and that more sustainable fabric, sustainable color dyes as well. I think that's something that's a trend that's going to continuously kind of go on to that. So I'm really excited to kind of see what they do with a lot of these fabrications.
Regina, what about you? Colors and fabrics, what do you have your eye on?
Yeah, I think that's great. Good question. I think probably the color I'm most excited about is green. I think it's extremely wearable. I think it's been having a great moment, but even just watching runway over the last month, we've seen so much more green. So I think whether it's utility, military greens, mossy greens, like the comeback of verdigris, sort of like on the turquoise spectrum, seeing a lot of action, even like acid lime green. So seeing a lot of action out of green. Really watching orange as kind of the new pop color, which is something that we're excited about. I think the prevalence of pink is still out there in a big way. I think the influence of that Valentino pink and all of Barbie core is really continuing its staying power. You know, I had the chance to go to Premiere Vision for the first time in Paris this summer. So that was really fun just to see all the materials out there. I think, you know, we are seeing such an emphasis on craft and handwork. And I think it's something that we're seeing as equally for fall as we are for spring now. So whether it's stitching details, welting details, just like craftsmanship, all kinds of new wovens, whether it's fall or spring. And on the spring side, much more about like naturals and crochet and macrame and all kinds of additional dimension and texture and new wovens and materials. So I think, you know, that was really fun and exciting. I think we're seeing lots of new innovation in leathers and suedes, like rub-offs and crackles and sort of layering with foils. Just a lot of interesting dimension that adds a lot of value behind, you know, perceived value behind all of footwear. So I think that that's something that's really exciting. The comeback of metallics is not to be underestimated in footwear. You know, well, Sandy knows, you might not, I'm not telling you how many years, but I've been around footwear a long time. And when metallics are in, it is a great moment in footwear. So I think that is something that we're really watching, and there's so much variety, whether it's sort of like more casualized crackle and rub off metallics, you know, all the way up to sort of high shine patents. So, you know, it's a great moment. I think that there's so much variety and depth in terms of material and color, and it's something that we're really excited about.
That's great. Thank you. That's a lot. That's a lot for our subscribers to really jot down and note for the future. Joe, what can you share with us about the men's market? What are you seeing in trends there?
Yeah, so sneakers continuously dominate within the men's market, but you're seeing kind of a dressed up sneaker. So I'm seeing a lot of almost a comfort sole with a nice kind of you know, leather top to it. So it's really interesting to see the dynamic of how, you know, men found that there was comfort, you know, found elastic and found all this stuff, and are really excited to kind of, you know, bring that into kind of their workspace and kind of everything else. So I'm seeing that as a really big trend here. And also kind of looking at that Chelsea boot in a different way has one that I think is going to be a huge trend for men, and kind of getting back into that. So again, utilizing that with some more comfort aspects has been really big for the menswear market. So overall, it's really exciting to see kind of men's kind of start to go back into that fashion. You're still going to have that like huge chunky sneaker that you kind of see across the runway. But it's the colors that are going to be, you know, they were kind of more black and whites and maybe pops of color. Now they're really out there with color, talking about green, talking about the metallic. That is going to be a huge thing for us. So we'll be able to kind of see for, again, any walk of life, you know, whether you're in the suburbs, whether you're in the city, you'll actually have to have something, you know, across the board that you want to buy and get your kind of feet into. So that is a portion that I love, is that there's something new now, I think, for the menswear market, that it gives him the opportunity to kind of really update his wardrobe and kind of update his game.
Are you saying that dudes are doing dopamine? Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that dudes do dopamine as well. Dopamine
Okay, good.
You know, is genderless. It can span across.
Good to know.
Yeah.
That's
As
great.
long as the colors are military green and navy.
That's correct.
Good.
That's correct.
And I wonder, and I'll pitch this to Regina. I wonder about the loafer, right? I mean, everybody's talking about the loafer. Is it as popular in the men's market, and is it hitting kids and all cross category, or is it mainly focused? Is it a woman's trend, or is it for everyone?
I would say there is a loafer for everyone right now, Sandy. I think that is really what's fun about it, is it's really trending. I would say probably the biggest trend. Well, first off, my men's buzzword of the moment is versatility. And I think that is, and also I think that the biggest men's sartorial moment that's really happening is this like collegiate sartorial prep kind of look that's really happening. And it's sort of career driven, maybe back to office, but at the same time, it's permeating all the way down through streetwear. So it's something we're really seeing across the board. But I think that versatility is so important. Number one, men love a loafer because it's easy, because it's a slip on. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. We are seeing the classic penny as sort of like the leader within the men's loafer space, but a lot of variety. I think it's so important. It goes with all of the stylistic looks we're seeing right now. It's also a huge heritage moment. So if you think about this whole like varsity prep thing that's happening in men's, and all of these heritage looks like the Wallaby and the desert boot and Chelsea's, like Joe mentioned, and Chukka boots. But the loafer is sort of the leader there. So I do think really important in the men's space as well. But in the women's space, I think it's one of the most exciting pieces. Like you could have a whole wardrobe of loafers right now. It's about the classic penny. There's a rounder toe shape that's happening. There's sort of like a glove-like unlined, really soft, flat loafer that's really happening. We're seeing loafers on platforms. It's the whole spectrum of loafers that I think is really important. It gives her a lot of opportunity to wear them different ways. So I think that versatility and sort of comfort are built in. Those are two buzzwords obviously we've heard come up today, but I think is really what's driving the success of the loafer. And I think we'll continue to see it as also styling trends move much more in this like tailored direction.
Is that a loafer on a platform as tall as a platform as you can get, Joe?
I mean, potentially. It really all
It's
depends.
checking the boxes for Joe.
Checking the boxes. Exactly.
I'm 6'4". I don't need it, but I'm sure others do. So
height and style. It's a good mix.
I'm 6'3", but who doesn't love a little height? So
it's true. Well said. Well said.
What about kids? What can we be seeing for kids? What are you going to be looking at for the months ahead? Joe?
Yeah, I think what I love, this has always been out there. It's kind of that mommy and me, the daddy and son, and that's going to be huge. We're seeing a lot of brands kind of go into that. So we've seen, brands are actually reintroducing their kids lines as well. So overall, athletic is huge for kids. They're really getting onto the trends a whole lot sooner than, again, when I was probably in that age range where I probably didn't care as much. Now you see people like, I want to wear my Ons, I want to wear my Hokas, I want to wear this, I want to wear the Nikes that my dad has or my mom has. So that's what I love to see, is kind of like dressing up as your parents. But also I think within the kids space is you're seeing a lot of color, a lot of licenses like really coming back as well. So parents are kind of really listening to their kids, and their kids are almost telling them like, I want to see this, I want this. And the product offering that I've seen in kids has been huge. So again, pops of that fun color, because kids want to be able to express themselves as well. But all those trends we talked about, kids want that as well. They want the loafer, they want the Chelsea boot, they want the Mary Jane, like they want those Doc Martens. So it is very funny to see kids that are like 8 and 9 that are just so fashion focused, because it is in front of their face at all times. And they don't want to be seen as a kid. They want to be seen as, just a little adult, someone that has fashion sense, that wants to go out there and express themselves. So I love it that kids are getting into it at an early age. Obviously, I love it from a sales standpoint as well. So parents, buy your kids whatever you want.
Amen. Amen to that. I mean, if you think about it, kids didn't go to school for a couple of years, right? So if they're re-emerging and kind of unveiling themselves new and improved, a new pair of kicks similar to their parents is, I think, what's called for in this case.
Yes, I love it.
That's right. And Regina has a couple kids, and I know that she likes to dress them up as well. And she's so stylish about it. So Regina, what are you looking at for kids?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the bottom line is kids live in sneakers. So I think sneakers is the core of kids' wardrobes for sure. Boots, obviously really important as an important second in the fall season, and that swaps to sandals in the spring. But It's about evolved court looks. I mean, girls need a little bit of height because they're wearing the flared leggings. So now they need to get up off the ground a little bit higher. So still seeing court is really important. Retro joggers have become more important in the kids space. So I think, again, channeling the mommy and me, daddy and me looks, right down to kids, seeing a lot more retro joggers, which is where some of those like collegiate prep colors are coming into the kids space. The little kids love character, so no surprise there. And that's more the age group I'm talking about at my house. And then, cozy boots, always important in the girl space. We are seeing, Western, which is so huge, obviously, is happening in the kids space as well. And then even a little bit of that prep look, although in the kids space, it takes a little bit more of like a clueless spin. So it's a little bit more about the Mary Jane or T-strap on a lug bottom. But boys, yeah, little tucker boots, little prepster wallaby looks. It's all good for family pictures and the holidays is when it's a little bit more dressed up looks as well.
A little bit of everything there.
Yeah, you named it everything. I think we were going to do like hot or not, but I mean, we've run out of stuff to say. I don't know.
Oh no, you got to do the hot or not.
All right.
Hot or not?
Don't
Okay.
miss the hot or not. Joe
Okay,
and I
ready?
want to play hot or not.
Okay.
Ooh, this is fun.
Hot. Well, you know what?
Swipe left or swipe right.
I know. I was gonna say clogs. Regina, hot or not?
Ugh. Burke, clogs, hot. Otherwise, miss. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Joe. Oh God, you covered so much of this that I
Say
can't even go there.
Just do it, it's fun.
I was gonna say platform sneakers, hot or not?
Oh my gosh, hot.
Still hot.
Always
for me.
hot.
Yeah. Okay. The other ones you all covered off of. I
All right.
was gonna say
What
slippers.
about like Crocs?
stuff.
Are
Yeah,
Crocs
Crocs.
hot?
Okay, let me tell you about
Ooh,
the
pass.
collaborations we have going on with
Yeah.
Crocs. Okay, so I'll be super honest. I was never a Crocs believer. I bought my first pair when I came to Zappos. They are very comfortable. There's some
Yep.
fun things happening there. I think Crocs will always have a mainstay. There will always be a market for Crocs.
Good answer. Good diplomatic answer. Nice work.
Truth.
I'm a
Yes.
fan too. I'm a fan of both Birks and Crocs and all of that. Everything that's comfortable. I love my platform sneakers. I love my Crocs. I really do love my clogs and all of that. So,
I will say I was trick-or-treating last night and I think 80% of people were wearing Crocs at trick-or-treat last night.
wow,
It was a good read.
that's a good read.
Go
Exactly.
with everything. Come in every color.
All right, Matt, what did we miss? Did we miss anything?
The only other question, are we doing hot or not still or
No.
questions?
No,
No more
they
hot.
covered all the trends and all the things.
Sorry.
Everything's hot or not. I do have a question just for people who don't know how market weeks work. If you're watching this, you clearly probably have an idea, but Regina, we'll start with you. When you were in market week, and we talked about what you're looking for, but kind of how do you bounce around and check out the styles? How do you kind of keep track of what's happening in real time during the actual market week itself?
Oh my gosh, good question. Well, first off, I was just trying to calculate this the other day. So I think this is like my 30-some season in shoes. So I've been to a lot of market weeks.
That means we can reverse engineer your age, I think.
Yeah, well, don't try. But I would say, first off, the best part is you get to touch and feel products, which is the most inspiring part for anybody who's in a job like this. I think, it is exciting no matter how much trend research you do. It's still the most fun part is to come and see what people have to offer. Besides that, the industry is a great group of people. So it is like hobnobbing from one showroom to the next, catching up with people and seeing industry veterans and then, people who are new to it. So I think that is really fun. But what does it look like? Well, it's very frantic. You start early and, you bop around from showroom to showroom, sometimes hotel rooms or wherever it is that people have set up their product. You get a good sense of, what they're standing for the season. So what are the new big ideas? What are sort of the strategies behind the brand? What is the product that they're most excited about? And you get to touch and feel and maybe lay out some styles with your team and get excited about, what stories and trends you're going to stand behind. And there's usually some fun events and ways to mingle with the rest of the industry. So it is, you gotta be very strategic about who's in which building and which, so that you can really, plan the play-by-play really efficiently, but it is a great way to see everything. It's like a survey course in shoes.
So true. And don't forget the meetings that happen on Fifth Avenue just because you run into somebody, right? And
Yes.
you spend the 10 minutes catching up with people just on the street. So Joe, you've been in a couple markets recently. What's your take? Kind of how do you map out your day?
Yeah, so I'm that strategic person, like, okay, we are hitting the 7th Avenues today, and now we're going to go over here at 57. So I'm very much about like, let's do the least amount of cabs. I'm all about the subway too. So being like living in New York as well, I'm like, we're going down, it's 2 stops, we'll never get a cab. Like there's Ubers are going to take 15 minutes. So I'm all about time management and efficiency. Echoing what Regina said, I love touching and feeling product. At my team, we kind of have like this is the hashtag trending thing of the moment. And then we kind of say like, who did it best as far as like, who did the best platform, who did the best pink shoe, who has the best pink color, So we definitely get through and go through kind of everything as well. Like, what are those trends of the season that we're super excited about? What are we seeing across the market? What are some of the new up and comers that, like, we didn't even think about that are kind of coming out of left field? I love that kind of new discovery and those like personal connections that you have, like, again, being at home, not being able to really go to market before. It is so great to see everybody in person. Everyone has a great attitude. Everybody is lively. So for me, it's always about a really good night's sleep, because you are going to be on your feet for about 12 to 14 hours, probably racing around the city. Always make sure to eat. I pack all a bag of snacks. So I'm like the mom of the group handing out protein bars. I'm like, we got 15 minutes, you guys. We got to get to this next appointment. Let's go.
I've seen you in market, Joe, and you are a man on a mission. You are just like off to the races. So I think people appreciate that. You're very efficient. You have high energy and you know what you want to see. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I think people plan their day around who has the best food. So
This is true.
once you're more of a veteran, you know the who's who around lunchtime, and you can tell who else knows too.
Yes.
Good point.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that covers it. What I took away is I need to go change my shirt into green, apparently, because that is the hot color. And being a Marine Corps brat, I have plenty of like Army military green around. But Sandy, it seems like the trends there's a lot out there to digest. There's a lot it's not a surprise with the reemergence of a whole society back into life as we know it today. People want to express themselves, and rightfully so. And so I'm super inspired by what people can expect at Market Week. We've got our own pop-up that we're hosting a number of brands on Fifth Avenue. Super excited about that yet again. And it's one of those markets that has a buzz that is just super loud, and there's just a lot of excitement. So I'm grateful that you brought in our friends Regina and Joe to talk about the trends that they're seeing, so that people can be excited about Market Week, because it's only a couple weeks away. It's unbelievable.
That's great. Thank you so much, Joe. And thank you, Regina, for joining us this time on Kicks Over Coffee.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.